Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And welcome to the Weird Science Comics channel here on YouTube, where I'm going to be going through Batman number 95, part 1 of the Joker War. It's written by James Tynion, the fourth by art by Jorge Jimenez. And the thing is, it is part 1 of the Joker War, but we've had a lot of issues leading into this. We've had a lot of Batman issues. The designer story ended up pretty much turning into a prelude to the Joker War. So we've had a bunch of that since Tynion took over this book from Tom King in Batman number 86. We've also had a bunch of prelude journey to the Joker War issues in the tie-ins, Detective, Batgirl, Nightwing, a bunch of stuff like that. So it almost feels like the Joker War started a while back. So when we get this actual part 1, I need some bang for my buck. I need to get really, really excited about the story. And I can't say this issue did it. I don't think it's a bad issue, but it's not one that wowed me. It's not one that made me like, holy crap, we're finally here. This is awesome. You do have a lot of setup. You do have a lot of recap in this, and you're going to have that because some people are just going to jump into this issue. And I think that James Tynion does a decent enough job of making the recap not as forced as some other writers might have done. But you do have kind of a bookend thing of when the Joker first started doing his thing and Batman was trying to figure it all out. Batman kind of mentions to Alfred, hey, this is something, it seems like this Joker always just wants it me against him. He's always going to be around. And Alfred ends up saying, well, I'll be with you too. It'll be me and you against the Joker. I won't leave you. Well, that kind of didn't happen because Alfred's dead. Now, that was Alfred being killed by Bane when Bane snapped his neck, but still no Alfred, and Batman is going to have to do this alone as of now because the Bat family is kind of on the outs with him as well. And I think that what we're going to get out of this Joker War is going to get a lot of the Bat family back with Batman, hopefully getting Dick Grayson back to being Dick Grayson and not Rick Grayson, possibly getting Alfred back. We'll have to see. We end up in the here and now, and this is what I mean with some of the recap. You have a bunch of news reports about Wayne Industries, Bruce Wayne. And the way that this is spelled out is that Bruce Wayne is in trouble for funding Batman. This isn't the news where they have figured out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. This is something we have seen before. Grant Morrison played around with it with Batman Incorporated as well. So Batman and Bruce Wayne, still two separate entities, but Bruce Wayne is in trouble because he has embezzled and kind of filtered money towards Batman, and everything's being taken from Bruce Wayne. We go to Wayne Enterprises, where you have Lucius is being tortured by Punchline because they want to know how to get into all the computers, find out all the secrets at Wayne Industry. Lucius is fighting back, which is pretty cool. I like Lucius a lot. Now, this is beginning of when we were going to have 5G. The whole deal was going to be that Lucius was going to be hurt by the Joker, which would then make Luke Fox get pissed off and kind of jump into his father's role and go towards being Batman eventually. And since we're not having 5G, it's kind of a shame that Lucius still has to be tortured like that, but it's part of the story. And he eventually starts giving up the goods. He starts giving up the passcodes, starts giving up the secrets to Punchline that Joker and Punchline want to know. Well, while this is going on, Joker, and this might be one of the things, this is just a subtle setup of, kind of really putting the screws to Bruce Wayne Batman, where you have Joker going by the Monarch Theater, the theater where Bruce went with his parents when they ended up that night getting killed, and also just buying up all the theaters in the city. So really what you get from the Joker in this first issue pretty much is him going around. And this is a good scene. It's set up. It's got some nice tension to it as you find out that he's Jokerized a bunch of people to sit there and watch Zorro. But then later, it is just mentioned, yeah, Joker's buying up all the theaters. And you're like, okay, so the first chapter of the Joker War, after all this setup, Joker's just going around with his billions of dollars that he stole from Bruce, and he's buying up some theaters. All right, so it's a nice little setup, but that isn't the wow moment. That's not the big thing that I wanted out of this to get me fired up. Well, Batman ends up going to Wayne Industries. He's going to break in. He's going to start his, attack to get things back by going into one of the secret bat caves, mini caves that he has in the Wayne Industries building. Problem is, Lucius has kind of sold that out, told Punchline she is waiting. And this is a cave that is the secret hideout for something that never happened yet from this Joker War deal, where he ends up having this new suit. And they had this on Twitter. They had announced the suit. People saw it. They thought it was like the George Clooney suit. Nobody liked it. It seems this is supposed to be the wow moment. And it's not that wow with me. Lucius and Batman are kind of going back and forth of who ended up really putting this into play. They don't know. But while all this is going on, Punchline, with that weird toxin that she had made, she spells it out. It's fear toxin and venom. And oh my God, it's this thing that I have ended up getting an immunity to because she is doing what the Princess Bride iocane powder. We've seen this before where she has slowly, exposed herself to this gas, this toxin, so it doesn't affect her. It's affecting Batman. He's going nuts. And that's where at the end, he actually thinks that Alfred's talking to him, and we'll have to see if he isn't. That's the play, and it always is the play when you end up having a character not in their own, faculties. He is now poisoned. Is this of the mind? Is it somebody else? Whatever. But it does end with a huge Batwing, but kind of at the front with a Joker smile on there. It's kind of odd. It's shooting and kind of blowing up Wayne Industries. So we'll have to see what that means. But yeah, overall, it just didn't have that wow factor. It wasn't something that I read and I was like, oh my God, that's what I've been waiting for. It's just more of the same. It felt more, and it's probably the case because of the idea of having so many issues lead. When you end up having the designer story turn into that prelude to the Joker War, which it seemed to have been, when you get to this, it's just, okay, this is just another issue going towards, the big thing coming up. But I really needed this one to have this big punch, this big thing. So overall, I'm giving it a 7.5. I said it's not a bad issue. The art's great. But the whole overall deal, the Joker's buying up theaters. You have Punchline doing her thing, grabbing Batman. And I'm not a huge Punchline fan. I don't think I'm going to be. I don't really like the character. But even besides that, I needed a little more. But I'd like to know what you think. I'd like to know what you think of this beginning of what is the big story right now, along with a death metal that DC is putting out. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below. And if you like the video, please like it. Also subscribe to the channel and look at all of the notes below where you can go to all sorts of weird science stuff, weird science, Marvel, DC, podcasts, websites. We have the Instagrams. We got to, whatever the kids have down at the malt shop. But thank you, everybody. And I'll talk to you later.